Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thanks to YouTube Analytics, I can see that most of my viewers are returning viewers, so thank you for that. It means I'm at least doing something informative or entertaining. Today's review is of the single column reference Bible from Thomas Nelson in the New King James Version. Now you may remember I have done a review of this Bible before. However, this is a new cover option or a line extension, as I always forget to mention the name. And this one is in blue genuine leather. Now they do have a black genuine leather already on the market, but this is a 2022, I believe, release of a blue leather option. So you can see the cover on the box here. There's simple one-piece clamshell. This one does retail for $119.99, so I did find it for around $80 on retailers such as Christian Book. So you have your information here, pretty much all the traditional stuff except for ornate silver gilded page edges, which we will get to in a moment. So here's the Bible itself. I won't go into too much of the specifics and the details of the layout and everything because I've done that already. I'll link that video in the description. So we're just going to cover the exterior mainly compared to the Premier Collection. So you have a blue genuine leather cover. Very nice in the fact that it is kind of unique. It's not a pressed, doesn't give the appearance of a pressed look. There's some definite charactered grain to it. You have perimeter stitching. It's not perfect. I mean, there's some, you can see here, it's a little wider and then more narrow, so it's not consistent all the way around, but not bad. The cover itself is kind of uneven in some portions, but that is also not the worst critique to have of a Bible. You have 5 raised spine hubs. You have your first ornate design here. Holy Bible, another design, New King James logo, and Thomas Nelson logo. In this one, you do have your ISBN on the back, as with many genuine leather Bibles. Then you have blue head and tail bands, as well as 2 double satin ribbons of the 3/8 inch measurement. They're not quite long enough for my preference, but they are sufficient. And then on your page gilding, you have silver, and then your ornate design along the edge, which is probably the most unique feature of this Bible that is the most obvious anyway. So the liner is paste down, and then you do have reinforcement tape, so it is done with the best possible materials in this format. And you can see your corners there. Paper didn't cover it quite all the way there, but you can see how far over that leather is folded. So there's quite a bit of leather on this cover. It's very thick. And then the back is the same. So the major question that I know many will have if you're thinking through this is, do these symbols on the cover mean anything? And the answer is yes, they do. These are variations of Celtic knots. Now, I did a little research on these because I had to figure out which ones they were. And the major one that you see on the page gilding is known as the sailor's knot. And this one was believed to have been created by men at sea who wanted to remember their families back home. So it's sort of designed with the intent of referencing the familial commitment and the bonds of friendship and loyalty to one another. And it is also one of the strongest knots. So again, you have that reference to the strength of brotherhood. And then on the spine, you have a version of the love knot. And you can see 4 little hearts pointing all 4 directions. You have 2 of those. And again, this one does focus on the commitment aspect, only with the focus on love, obviously. So again, you have that unity and indivisibility of loyalty. So a question I initially had with this, obviously looking at it, is why didn't they choose, say, a Trinity knot, which is one of the Celtic knots? And while it would make sense, I think their choices here are actually very well done, because if you think about what the Bible teaches, the Trinity is very important, but it is not, I wouldn't say, the focal point of the entire Christian message. It is a very important and necessary doctrine, but not the thing that you are living by per se every moment of your life, whereas the overall focus of Scripture is redemption and Christ redeeming mankind. So you have that focus on God's covenantal love toward humanity and his effort to promote a relationship with humanity, and then we reflect that through ourselves to other people. So you have that entire focus of love and then the commitment to one another and from God to us. So I think their choices of these two knots are actually very well thought out. So now I'm going to compare real quick the Premier Collection to this Bible and answer the question, which one is better? And I know that's kind of a subjective question depending on several variables, but I'll do my best to give my 2 cents. So first off, obviously, the cover. The cover is goatskin on the Premier Collection, and so it's a little bit softer, a little bit more supple. The edge lining does create a little more flexibility with the cover compared to this thick paste down genuine leather. However, on most aspects, it's very similar. So you have, for one, a leather cover. 2, you have 5 raised hubs on both. You have perimeter stitching, and then you have the same paper on both of them. Now, of course, the exterior page gilding is different, but this one has art gilding, red under gold, and this one has the design, which kind of prohibits any use of art gilding. So they both have their unique page designs. So the only difference really is the covers as far as construction goes. And so when you come down to really choosing which one, it's more a matter of price tag. And again, that is kind of a unique thing with these Bibles. This one is regularly seen for around $100 and this one around $80. So you really only have about a $20 difference when it comes to purchasing. And if you get the black Premier Collection, which does not have raised spine hubs, by the way, but that one itself actually often comes up for around $90. So you really only have a $10 difference between a goatskin leather and a genuine leather. So personally, I would go with the Premier Collection because I really enjoy the edge lining and goatskin covers. But when it comes to durability, I think these are both extremely well done. This one is going to last a very long time. You can tell here, another thing I like to point out when I can see it, is that the spine does not cave or bend. There's really very little movement in the spine when you have it open, and so it lays nice and flat. Whereas in the Premier Collection, it does kind of bow up a little bit, so there's more spine movement and signature movement. So there's that feature to consider that is going to have more stress put on it more often than this Bible. So that is a potential to have some wear at one point. And so really it comes down to which color you like. If you don't like blue, then obviously don't go with this one. But they're really both great Bibles, and this one is a very well-designed extension to this line of single column reference Bibles. So there is your brief history and maybe a little mini theological lesson on the single column reference Bible from Thomas Nelson in the New King James Version with ornate Celtic knot designs.